This is Microtopia. It's an interesting factory game that sort of brings together two concepts. The concept of simple, easily programmable robots, and the concept of ants that follow chemical trails and coordinate hive behaviors that way. It basically puts you in control of a bunch of robotic ants that you use paths to simply program to get them to perform a ever-increasingly complex operation. You know what? Let's just go look at it. I'll hit new game. I've played through a little bit of the tutorial so far, but there's still a lot I haven't seen, so I'm fairly new to this. I know just enough to try to explain it to you. So here we are in a weird alien landscape. And, oh, it looks like, yeah, we're going to be getting the tutorials again. That's okay. So we're going to look around the environment, rotate the camera, zoom the camera in and out. And now we've got to place our queen. So let's look around at what we've got here. So we've got flowers here that provide kind of energy to grow your ant colony. We've got like this sort of metallic stuff over here that's for building things. And we've got these plant fibery things that are used for late game stuff that I haven't fully discovered yet. So it looks like, yeah, the main deposits of most of this stuff are right around in this area. So we probably want to put the queen in a spot that is kind of equidistant to everything. Why don't we stick her here so that we can reach both the flowers and this initial metal stuff, and I can move on to this metal stuff once I've exhausted this stuff. So that seems pretty good. And then, okay, yeah, feeding her goes in the left side, in the right side, and the babies will come out the left side. I think that all seems reasonable. So let's place her there. We can, every time you place something, you can orient it, but I think that's kind of how we want it. And now she's gonna fly in from whatever otherworldly place she comes from. Okay, so she's got these 4th century ants that have very long lifespans. A huge part of what you have to pay attention to in this game is the lifespan of your workers, because they will eventually die and you have to automate the process of replacing them. But these guys last for a really long time, which is very helpful because I'm not ready to replace them yet. Okay, so let's instruct a worker to pick up a piece of scrap iron. You can send them on complex paths if you want to. But if you click on a piece of scrap iron, it picks it up, and then we can bring it where? We need to bring it to a stockpile. Let's build a stockpile. Okay, so eventually we're going to be feeding this stuff here into the stockpile. So I'm going to stick the stockpile about there. Stockpiles don't have to be in any particular place as far as picking things up from them. Basically, it's delivering to stockpiles you have to worry about layout-wise. Okay, so now we need to make some trails to make some supply chains. So trails look like this. So basically what I need to do is set up a supply chain that will get these sentry ants to gather this stuff and deliver it to this stockpile. So we'll start at the stockpile, and then we will sort of wind them around to these different places where they can grab stuff, and then I'll stick the ants on that trail. So you can't just route an ant directly to something and have them pathfind. You're solving their pathfinding problems yourself. Which makes sense. Like it's actually kind of clever. You don't have to solve pathfinding if the entire game is about the player doing the pathfinding. So now you can see they're sort of gathering automatically. It's the trail that tells them what to do. This is a gathery type of trail. It's officially called hauling. But when they're on this trail, they know that when they get close to something like this, they should pick it up and then deliver it to a stockpile. And so as long as they're on this trail, that's what they'll keep doing until we run out of stuff. Okay, so my queen is about ready to birth her first larva, and we need to use an incubator in order to make that larva into an ant. So let's see here. I think what I want to do is put it here and orient it this direction. You'll notice that the resources just came straight out of the stockpile. We didn't have to gather the resources and move them here because, you know, all of these paths that the ants are taking, these are meant to be consistent things that you invest in and they last for a really long time. And so short-term things like building, where it's like once you're done building, it's over, making you draw paths for that would be just like kind of frustrating. Would be an exercise in sort of repeatedly drawing paths and deleting paths and drawing paths and deleting paths. So they don't bother with that. If something is short term like a build project, they just let the stuff teleport straight there. So okay, so now we've got a larva coming out of that queen, and we need to get a worker to bring that larva over here. So we could keep this as simple as just a little one-way path, right? We can grab one of our sentries that does not have stuff in its mouth, and we can just bring him right over here to the head of that path, and he can do this one-time operation. However, now he's stuck. He doesn't have anywhere to go. And so what you actually want to do in cases like this is draw a path that loops. So now the next time a larva is born, this guy will automatically pick it up. He's basically part of an automated cycle now. Similarly, this guy wants to come out of here and go where he can be useful. So, for instance, we can do that. So now we've got this automated pathway where whenever the queen has a baby, the baby comes out, incubates, becomes a worker, and goes and joins the party over here. So, but to keep doing that, the queen needs to have energy. And that comes from the flowers. So now we need to make another path. This one, a foraging path. So this path now, like, if I draw this path past these, the ant will not pick them up because that's for a hauling path. This is a foraging path, which means we need ants. Now, I could send them all the way over here to get all these flowers. For right now, I think that's unnecessary. So let's have the ants go past these guys, take them to her, and then let's extend it to get a few more flowers than I technically need. And so now we can keep feeding her, but we need to have an ant on that path. So let me grab the new ant that we just made. By the way, you'll notice this ant has a lifespan, and it's ticking down. Though I think actually it might not be ticking down right now because it's a tutorial, and they want me to, take my time. I'm not sure. But, yeah, so this little ant is now foraging. So he just grabbed a little bit from the flower. He's going to carry it all the way along the path. So the fact that I made a longer path means we have access to more flowers, but it also means the process of going around the loop once takes longer. But you see, my guy just grabbed the baby, and now the baby is going to go join this. Now, I don't actually want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this, and eventually they're going to give us some tools that make this way more convenient. For right now, at this stage in the tutorial, remaking this path is kind of my only option, but eventually I'm going to get the ability to have a branching path that goes both ways. All right. So now, so this guy, he's got a baby, and he's just going to wander in circles until he can actually produce it. And so it looks like each node that we bring over here gives us one baby. And that actually makes me think, you know what? Maybe we need to be really efficient. Actually, let's try to place it a little better. To be really efficient, we should have 2 of these. So let's just grab that trail and extend it like this. And, oh yeah, before I get branching paths, this is a viable option. I can have babies going to both of my operations. So now it wants me to build a smelter so that we can turn the iron blocks into something. So that shows up we'll leave the dispenser eventually, but right now, okay, we need a smelter. So I can put the smelter basically anywhere I want. Each of your production operations can be very separated from each other in space because things can just teleport from a stockpile to wherever it's needed. However, the thing we do need to worry about is the destinations of these baby ants, because if I put, like, I could put my smelter operation like way over here, but if I need to replace the ants on it, then it's a really long walk for them to get there, and that's just a waste of everybody's time. So instead, I should pick a nearby spot. Like, I could go over here, or let's put it on the same side of the incubator's outputs as everything else. So let's make ourselves a smelter. We'll put it here. And then we will make ourselves a dispenser, which will spit out whatever resource I want it to spit out. And then we will have somebody haul it here. Oh, wait. We also need to have a storage to put, or a stockpile, to put the resulting stuff in. So let's put it here. And then let's draw a trail, hauling things from here to there, to there, to there. All right, and then we say this dispenser grabs things from that stockpile, and then we grab one of our little favorite sentry ants and put him on that path. Now, eventually we're going to want to draw a path for new ants to come and populate this. But right now we don't get a lot of benefit from having, like, a ton of different ants. Like, this thing is going to have to sit here and make whatever it makes for quite a while. Looks like what it's making is an iron block. It's going to have to sit there and make an iron block for a while. So, like, there's no benefit to me adding another ant here. It can't, like, this can't go, this goes so much slower than the ants. Adding another ant wouldn't make it any faster. Now, if we want this operation to go faster, though, one way we could do it is second smelter. So let's consider that. Kind of want to orient it in an organized sort of way. That's not perfect, but whatever. Sorry, my first game was extremely imperfect. And so I'm kind of inclined to try to make things a little bit lined up. Oh, wait, I forgot. When they deliver something to a smelter, they stand there and wait for the output. So actually, you know, another ant will just wait behind this ant. So really, I can't make it go twice as fast by doing it this way. I wonder, can I delete just a node from a trail? Nope, I have to remake the node. All right, that's fine. So what, okay, so I suspected this was the case. I wanted to try that version, but I think what I actually need to do is build a second dispenser and put, I guess I'm not sure if I need the second dispenser, but whatever. We'll make another trail for a second ant. Oops, I just joined it to the same node. That's not what we want. Let's move this node so it's still in range but out of the way. And then give it this one its own independent node. And then put a second ant on this one. So now I can make these iron blocks twice as fast. Oh wait, I forgot to assign the origin for these things. Okay, we're already at 7 though, so that was probably unnecessary for now, but I'm pretty sure long term we're going to want to have this many of these. It looks like we are making a fair amount of babies. In fact, we've hit maximum population. So we're like feeding the queen and getting 0 eggs out of the queen. And look, our little guys are starting to turn black. When they turn black, that means they're going to die soon. So this operation isn't going to last forever. So now that we've got our iron, we can build a workshop, and it can make different things out of the iron. And again, we can kind of put this wherever we want. So I'm going to put it just over here, I guess. And again, I mean, it's kind of the same operation here. Stick a dispenser on it. Stick a stockpile on it. And make ourselves a little triangular trail. Wait a minute. Am I wrong about that? Let's see here. So we need to make 2 iron plates and 5 screws. So this one will make iron plates. And there we go. This is our iron plate one. And then let's, you know what, while we're at it, let's just, ooh, we've got the things that I want. Okay, we'll look at those in just a second. We'll build a second workshop just like we did before, only instead of making the same thing twice as fast, these are going to make 2 different things. So I will put another dispenser here. We'll do another hauler path. Like that. Get this as close as we can, just because we like that. And now I could just do the same thing I did before. I just grab ants and tell them, hey, ant, go over here. But that's not what we're going to do. Well, actually, you know what? Actually, I think I kind of have to do that. Because we've run out of new ants. We're not making any new ants right now. Okay, so for right now we'll do that. We'll just send this nearly dead ant over here. We'll send this nearly dead ant over here. But now that we've got some new path laying tools, we've got some new options. So let's pause this real quick and look at our path laying options. So right now, we have these 2 incubators. Oh, and I think an ant just died, so we are going to grow a new ant here, so we'll see what this ant does. So we've got these 2 incubators that are each individually feeding each of these operations. And so right now that basically means, like, you know, we're going to give an even number to each of them. But we don't have to do it that way. What do we actually want? What we actually want is we want 4 ants operating these things up here. And then we want, I mean, there's a limit to how fast this can be done. You see how quickly we exhaust these flowers? We only need a small number of ants over here. And then we want the rest of our ants doing this as quickly as possible. Though, oh, wait, I just realized. We need these ants to be getting a little closer to these piles. Oops. So they can pick up more stuff, because they're kind of wasting their time. They got out of range of all of their potential resources. By the way, notice when you move the path that an ant is on, it makes its own path to get back on your path, which is kind of cool. Okay, so what we want is for the ants to be making some decisions that say 4 ants this way, a couple ants this way, 4 ants to the right, a few ants to the left, and the rest of the ants onto this. So let's delete these paths here and figure out what the logic of that looks like. So our tools that we have are the divider, and what the divider does is you can make any number of branches, and each time an ant crosses this node, it will follow the arrow of the node, but then shift the arrow, I think, clockwise. And so you can basically say, if you set up a thing like this, each ant that gets off, the first ant will go here, the second ant will go here, the third ant will go there. It'll sort of divide the ants evenly amongst 3 paths. This is a counter gate. What the counter gate does is, actually, let me put a normal path down first. What a counter gate does is it creates a branch that every ant wants to take. Like if you're an ant crawling on this, you want to take this, but only a certain number of you are allowed to. And so basically the counter gate looks at this sort of the hollow direction. It looks over here and says, how many ants are over here? If there's 4 ants over here, then it's full. I will not let any new ants through. If there are less than 4, then I will let an ant through when an ant comes by here. So what do we need to do here? Let's think about it. So I need a counter gate with 4 ants on it, leading to all 4 of these separate paths. So what that means is each of these paths needs to have an on-ramp, a one-way on-ramp. Luckily, paths are always one way in the direction that you go as you're making them. So we're going to make a one-way on-ramp for each of these. And each of these needs specifically 1 ant. And so one thing we could try to do is like say, oh, we'll branch all of these with a divider, right? And so the ants will take turns going here. And for initial setup, that would be fine. And then it would be terrible for the rest of the time because the divider doesn't know how many ants are down the path. Each of these paths needs to have exactly 1 ant on it. So we'll lay down these initial paths, but then I should really think about how I'm formatting them so we can get a counter on every single one of them. But we'll lay down this base code first. One thing I love, by the way, is if you hate the pattern that you set up, the sort of geometry of this setup that you do, you can always change it later. They make making changes to your layout as easy as they possibly can. They don't penalize you. Oh, these are hauling paths. That means that ants that I put on these paths are going to be trying to pick stuff up. And so I'm trying to navigate them around all of this stuff, and they're going to be trying their hardest to pick things up. So, you know what? I'm going to grab some of these ants and be like, hey, guys, can you just come grab this? No, not there. No. Go grab that, and actually take it. Can I get you to take it to a stockpile? Yes, I can. You. Let's do the same thing with you. Grab that. Take it to a stockpile. This one also needs a grabber. Hello, you, ant. Come over here. Grab this guy. And take it back to the stockpile. Okay, I think that clears that path enough for me to work. Oh, I think I need to get rid of this one, too. Hey, you. You, come grab this. And bring it back. All right, that's absolute freaking chaos. Let's let the ants do this so that we can get those dotted lines off the screen. Everybody pick up your stuff. And then once they take it back, I think they'll get back on the path. Yeah, okay, cool. Anyway, now I've got these 4 on-ramps heading towards the factories. Oh, right, this guy needs iron blocks. This guy also needs iron blocks. Okay, so next thing I'm doing. What I need is to have 4 counters going out to these 4 on-ramps. So that any ant that goes that direction... Let's see here. We'll just... Basically, so those ants will distribute themselves correctly onto these paths. So let's make a counter onto that one. A counter onto that one. A counter onto that one. And a counter onto that one. And these are all set to 1, right? Yeah, they're all set to 1. Okay, cool. And then we want 1 mega counter that is set, nope, stop it, that is set to 4, connecting to all of them. I've never done a setup like this. I don't know if this works. Oh, wait, I think I just did this wrong. Hold on. No, okay, I think I just didn't realize that I was making a bunch of independent paths. Okay, there we go. So theoretically, if we have all of our babies feed onto this, then the first 4, like if these were all empty, then the first 4 would all go through here, and then they would be distributed one at a time to each of these independent paths. But then what happens after that's full? After that's full, the next choice we want them to make is to go over here. And let's say that this takes 4 ants. So let's do another counter that goes this way. Let's also set this one to 4. And connect that up. And then all remaining ants should go up here. Theoretically, this should just work. We've got 2 ants queued up. Let's see what they do. Okay, so that ant goes this way. That ant also goes this way. Oh, but they got messed up because... Wait a minute. Okay, so this counter gate, it does not know about the ants beyond these counters. That's the thing I wasn't sure of. Okay, so we've proven it. I thought that this counter gate would be able to tell that there was 1 ant on each of these, but it can't tell that. Once it goes past the counter gate, it can't tell. So this setup is not going to work. I guess what I need to do is treat them all independently. So actually what my new babies are going to have to do is... What they're going to have to do is... What are they going to have to do? Let's... Okay, so they're going to both feed onto that track. And then onto this, and then onto that. That's what they're going to have to do. That's not as pretty, but... Nope, stop it. I'm trying to move that. But we've learned something. So I can make that a little bit pretty, right? Okay, so now these ants are completely confused. Let's have them start over. Let's have them start over again. So get back on that. So now they march along here, and because all of these paths are full, they go that way. Okay, so what it looks like is all I've told you how to do is make a path that just rejects ants. So let's... Here. Okay, so this ant just finished his job. Let's send this ant away. Get over there. And actually, yeah, let's grab this sentry ant, send him away too. So each time I send one of these ants away, it opens the door. See, oh, one of the new ants just went on the new path. See, and like this one that I just vacated, ant goes on that path. Hey, this guy, he just dropped something off. Let's send him away. Next ant comes out, goes on that path. So what this means is, as these ants die, like this ant, he's about to die. He just died. Well, that opened a door over here and let another ant through. So now I've got this operation where even though these ants are, you know, quickly dying. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, what the heck am I doing? No, I did this all wrong. Okay, hold on. Let me... So basically what I did was I set up this dispenser to just accept whatever they dropped on it, I think. And it switched, and it just grabbed blocks. We don't want blocks. We want plates. Actually, yeah. No, we want... Here, let's move this. We want plates. And we want screws. And actually, I don't know. Maybe it is possible to put those on the same storage. I didn't actually check to see if that was possible. But what I'm thinking we should do is just split those. This accepts plates. This accepts screws. This makes plates. This makes screws. That's actually going to work now. I think one of these guys has just been carrying a plate around forever. Okay, so that was not working for a while, but now it's working, and now we can see this going. Plates take longer than screws, and so you see this guy, he's just wandering around forever. Oh, and also, they take longer, and also they require more blocks. So this guy has to feed 4 blocks in, and then wait a long time for a plate. This guy only has to feed 1 block in and wait a short time for a screw. So theoretically, this comparison, this might actually be how long it takes to make each of them. So how many... So slowly, as these guys age... Oh yeah, it looks like we've only got 4 on here right now. Cool, so the next time one of these little guys dies, which will be in a minute and a half for that guy, and a minute for that guy, who I've just told them to do stupid stuff. Oh wait, oh wow. These ants are so quick. I moved this guy off the path. This guy instantly got on the path to replace him. So, well, let's send him there to die. So yeah, the next time one of these guys dies, let's just pretend he's dying by moving him off. That opens this door. You can see that 1 of 4 slots is now open. That opens this door. So the next baby that comes out will go on that path and replace him. So this is going to consistently have 4 little ants working on it. Almost got our last screw done over here. See, doesn't this already feel like an ant colony? Oh, okay. Looks like we've got... they've exhausted the pile that was over here on this path. So let's... Oh, these guys... I've got so many ants on this path. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking maybe we should have 2 different paths here. Let's grab this, scooch it in. Let's make this path significantly smaller. And then let's make ourselves a second path. And let's use a divider this time. Because I don't really care how many ants are on this path. This is my dumping ground for ants. So let's make ourselves another storage. Right here. And we'll make another little loop. And this is probably going to be a shorter term loop because I'm going to basically cover all of the potential gains in one go. So we'll have them doing that, and we'll branch them off here. Sure, let's grab these while we're at it. And we will... I think I can lay this down on top of the existing path. Yeah, we'll have it switch like that. And then let's, just to get it started, let's move a bunch of ants onto the new path. Especially the dying ones. We'll get a sentry on there too, why not? Okay, so we completed our construction, and now we need to start upgrading our workers. You've noticed how quickly these little baby ants die. The small worker ants die so fast. Each of them only lasts a few minutes. And so, in fact, I want to see exactly how long do they last. How long do you last? 5 minutes. So we want some ants that last longer than that. But to do that, we need to make a little bit more space in our birthing operation. So I'm going to... Okay, make sure this guy is gone, out of the way. Or sentry ants, they live forever. And so if you want to have just one little job that's done consistently and you don't need to replace the person doing it, you can put a sentry ant there. Though I should probably, in this next revision, I should probably make some kind of off-ramp for the ants to maintain this. But let's delete what we've got here. And then let's move these. Yeah. Actually, yeah, let's try to get their endpoints closer together. then we need to build a combiner. Oh, we do not have space for a combiner. The combiner's enormous. Okay, hold on. Let's move these guys out of the way entirely and see what we can do with the combiner. I forgot how huge a combiner is. Okay. That's so big. It's still just incredibly big. Can we move the queen? Yes. Yes, we can. Yeah, I feel like we're going to need... Because this combiner, this is not the first thing we're going to build that that has the scale of this combiner in this exact area. So let's... How do I want to do this? I want to point the queen, her output, that direction. So we have a lot of space. But I also want to keep her close to the feeding sources. So let's adjust this path here. But again, all of this is free. Like, I am not paying any resources to do these adjustments. And actually, I mean, if I want to, while I'm here, I could even start, you know, expanding this trail. But we'll worry about that in a second. Okay, so the queen is now pointed this direction, which gives us way more space to work with. But it also means our paths are going to be longer, so it's going to introduce some delay into the process. Though it's upfront delay. Like, once the process gets going, the paths, the longer paths that the ants have to follow, don't matter as much as they do at the outset. So we'll line these guys up a little bit. Oh, I got that backwards. Hold on. Line these guys up. Then we will finally place our enormous combiner. So what the combiner does is it takes two ants, two of the little baby ants, and it turns them into a mega ant. And so here, all I need to do is just connect these directly up to the combiner. We don't, like, once you've got the ability to make these mega ants, you don't need the baby ants anymore, so it's okay to just feed them straight in. No decision making at all. Here, you keep doing your job. So now so we're gonna have like big old mega ants coming out of here, and then we'll need to send them back to the same decision making process that we have up there. So come up here, but well, okay, let's deal with that in a second. So okay, come up here, and again, we still need them to do this, and then this, and you get to be the last ant. Wait, do you know what you're doing? Oh, he just disappeared. Why did he just disappear? Where did he go? I don't know. All right, I'd like to get a few more ants off this trail real quick. Sorry, it's bothering me, the sheer number of them on that trail. Okay, anyway. Oh, and I never adjusted this trail. Oh man, this game, for people who just love to tweak something endlessly, this is the game for you. In fact, let me just... I'm going to erase that bit. And I'm just going to send these guys all the way around here. Oh, wait a minute. Let's move this to make room. There we go. There's absolutely no reason to be going over here now, but we'll worry about that later when it's not full of ants. Okay, anyway, so I think all this works. The one thing that I was going to do was make it possible to replace this sentry, which means we want to take a counter gate, spin it off here, and point it at this. And this is set to 1. So basically, whenever the sentry goes away, it'll be replaced by the next ant that comes down the wire. Now, depending on timing, Actually, you know what? I don't want to do that. Because if he leaves a job half finished and there's no ant coming out here, he won't be replaced this way. So no, that's a bad idea. Let's not do it that way. Instead, let's have one of the places where we'll have multiple ants running. Let's give that the counter gate. So unless, like, fate really conspires to mess me up, whenever somebody here dies, there should be at least one ant over here, probably 4 ants over here. And one of those ants, unless all 4 are about to die, one of them should be able to split off and take over the job. That's set to 1. Okay. I think we're good. Okay, I'm going to unpause. And now we got one baby who comes up here. And a second baby comes up here. And now they go through a really fun ride. And an ant comes out. So now this is a bigger, longer lasting ant. It lasts 10 minutes instead of 5 minutes. So that's twice as long as the other ants. So now it's going to march through the same decision-making process that all the ants do. And steadily, over time, this is going to turn into, like, basically they'll replace my entire workforce. Within the next 5 minutes, all of the little ants are going to die and be replaced by the big ants. The big ants take twice as long to produce, and then they live twice as long. So really, this entire economy will be about the same. It'll be more stable, but there won't be really any more going on. Okay, so we've made a worker ant, and now it wants me to make 5 worker ants. That won't take much time. And so far, like, the queen cannot take in food fast enough to keep producing ants. Oh, yeah, so right now, I'm at max population. I'm at max population. That means I gotta wait for some ants to die before it can make new ants. Well, it'll happen eventually, won't it? I don't know where my oldest ant is right now. Some ant here is the oldest. Are you the oldest? Getting there. What about you? Yeah, okay, so it won't take long. It won't take long. Oh, are we about to? No, it won't take long. But, okay, one thing I do want to do, though, is... Well, no, I don't want to do it while these guys are all full of food. While all these guys have food in their mouths, I don't want to replace this sentry with one of them. Oh, in fact, any ant that hits this point in this path is going to have food. I need to reverse this path, because otherwise we'll be like, any ant that comes on this path is going to have food in their hands and their pincers and their mandibles, and they're going to come over here with food, and they're not going to be able to pick up a larva. That's not going to work. And so what I need to do is erase, erase, erase. I don't know if you can just reverse a path, actually. Maybe you can. But what we need is, right after they drop off... Nope. Wait, no, yes. Yeah, this is right. Right after they drop off, that should be when they land there. And then, oh, I forgot to delete one segment of the path. And then we can send them past the flowers again. Over here to where they drop it, in the queen's mouth. And now these guys are not on the path anymore, so I gotta put them on the path. Back on the path, all of you back on the path. Okay, so, by the way, this thing determines the rate at which we sort of level up our community and unlock new stuff. And I think it comes from feeding the queen when she's not producing babies. So right now, because we're at max population and she's not producing any babies, I think we're not leveling it up. But eventually some ants will die. Please die, ants. Okay, we're down to 20. We were at 27 for some reason. We're down at 25. Come on, more ants die. Yeah, it looks like we got a bunch of dead ants over here. This guy's about to die. Is he gonna die as soon as this job finishes? Does he not get to die until his job is done? Oh, this sounds like some weird vision of hell. He dies as soon as he gets the... And Where'd the plate go? Did we lose the plate because he died? I assumed he would drop the plate. Well, maybe the plate's under the ground or something. I don't know. Anyway. Over here, we are finally making our 5th worker ant. So now we've hit 5. Next stage, you can combine regular workers now to make inventor ants. So this is getting silly. But yeah, let's look at inventor ants. What do they look like? So I think what we need is just another combiner. But this is one that takes two of the new ants that we've got and makes them into an inventor. Okay, so we'll place this here. But now the question is, how often do we want to do this? Because we want to keep replacing our normal ants up here on their little paths, right? Notice that these have thinned out. Like, a lot of the little baby ants have died, and these 2 paths over here have really thinned out. And, oh, but we have replaced all of these guys with new fancy worker ants. That's cool. But yeah, we don't want, like, every worker ant to go this way. So here's our problem. We can't use a counter for this, right? Because, like, once the ants get on to the combiner, once they get onto this thing, and actually I should move it just slightly more. Once the ants get onto this thing, they don't count anymore. And so a counter that says I can only have 2 ants in this direction or whatever will always be open, because as soon as 2 ants march up this thing, they get combined into another ant and they go away. So we need to have some kind of system that says, okay, not every ant goes this way. A small subset of ants goes this way. So let's get this ant passed and figure out what kind of logic we want to use for that. So we'll look at our trails. Let's get rid of this trail. Sorry, ant, I just left you alone. I've only got 10 minutes until my next meeting, so this is going to be the last thing we do. But what I'm going to do is, let's start a path that goes out here. Is that a foraging path? I don't know what that is. Anyway, we'll make a divider. So we're going to have a divider that sends most of its ants this way and the occasional ant this way. So what do we want that division to be? Do we want to say, like, because we don't want to be, like, if we just did a regular divider like this, it would be half the ants go this way. That seems like a lot. So, but what we could do instead, here, let's delete that. What if we said wanted every 3rd ant to go over here? Every 3rd ant would mean that you have 2 going that way, and then 1 going this way. And I think that might actually even still be a little bit high for this, but I'm gonna, let's keep it simple. There we go. It was telling me there's a dead end here. And then we should also do another divider so that the first ant goes this way and the second ant goes that way. And then we've got, so basically every 3rd ant will go down this path, and then they will alternate going in there, and eventually they will pop out an inventor ant here, which we will learn what to do with soon. Here, I'm going to make a little path off it just so that it can clear. Now, it occurs to me, I'm not sure at what rate I can make this. Like, can I speed this up? Can I make it go faster? It looks like the number keys only do this. What? Oh no, F2 makes the entire HUD go away, which actually, that might be kind of nice for, like, getting a screenshot. Like, next time we are combining an ant here, let's hit F2 and just get a really nice screenshot of what this looks like. Okay, that's for the thumbnail. Okay, so now we've just had 1 ant go up here. So that means that the next 3rd ant is going to go up there and join him. So this is number 1 ant. Goes down that path. Here comes number 2 ant that we're going to make. And we're already working on making number 3 ant. And so if I decide that this is too many or too few ants, all I have to do is just delete this and redo the logic with a different number of alternate paths. Oh, whoops. Oh, we've got a little bit of a logic problem here. Let's see what happens. Okay, so right now we're at max population. And so because this guy always goes to this one first, he could load this one up. And never go over here. He only goes over here if he's got this, like, if this one's full. There might be a better way I can handle that. Not sure what it is, though. I don't know how to detect when that's a problem. Huh. Of course. Oh, actually. Oh, no, I know what I should do. Okay, hold on. We will delete that. And then we will move this a little further forward to make some room. And what we should do is have both of these go into a divider. That's what we do. So it doesn't matter what order he fills these in. He can do this one first, that one first, whatever. They're going to always go back and forth. I think that's true. Yeah, oh, that's a much better design. Oh, but we need to finish this path here. That is a much better design. So just in time, we're going to get our first inventor ant. And I think this will sort of give you the sense of sort of what sort of the larger shape of this game is going to be. Because once they finish making this inventor ant, they'll show us how we're going to continue to progress our colony. So far, we've been progressing our colony entirely through the tutorial. You know, the tutorial unlocks new mechanics one at a time. But now the inventor ants are going to take over, and they're going to be the thing that's unlocking new mechanics steadily over time. I do like, by the way, that this goal thing here, like, it fills up steadily to tell you how quickly the thing is going to happen the first time you do it. So now we've got an inventor ant, and the inventor ant needs an inventor pad. So here's an inventor pad. How do we... Nope. Hey, you move. There we go. Is that not how the... Oh, wait, no, the ant... Hold on. How does this work? I have to feed him. That's right, I have to feed him. Okay, that gets complicated, and I don't have time. And actually... Okay, this is going to show you how this game gets complicated. I was not planning ahead for this, because I had forgotten that these guys needed to be fed. So... I can get this guy, I think, up onto the pad. But right now, I can't feed him because all the food is on the other side. And I don't think that I can make a trail. Wait, I can? I can make a trail that crosses another trail. Okay. We need to end this episode. We're at nearly an hour anyway. My lunch break is over. So next episode... so I've only gotten just barely past this in the tutorial. So next episode, we're going to figure out how to feed this guy. And then we're going to see where that takes us as he invents stuff. But this is a really cool game, right? Like, it's like other factory games in a lot of ways, but really the problem that you're solving is basically entirely the pathfinding problem. Everything else, they try to make everything else as simple as they possibly can because the pathfinding problem is so thorny. And so I'm having a great time figuring this stuff out. And I love the idea of being able to sort of like I mean, within this game, I can certainly delete and rearrange all my stuff whenever I want to, but it's kind of more fun to sort of lean into whatever you did before and tweak it as little as possible to make things work. But the more familiar I get with this game, the better I'll be able to do it planning ahead. Like, I had forgotten you needed to feed the inventor ants. If I'd remembered that, I would have put the inventor ants over on the other side. And actually, I mean, that might still be what we do. In the next episode, I might come in and just say, like, oh, let's move our entire inventor operation to the left side instead of the right side so that they can be really near the food. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. But anyway, we can find out the details later on. For now, there is a subscribe button. So when I make that other episode, that's going to go there, and I'll see you then. Time for meetings.